Oh, okay, we're on the YouTube.
We're on the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
We are on the YouTube.
You can still come in.
Hello, YouTube.
Just that, yeah. Have you got it on your thing?
No.
Have a look so you can see that where you are.
I'm trying. I find it. Okay, yes. I see now. Can I move more?
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving on up. Slow news day, says Eric Marcotte. Yeah, really. What a crazy time in here. Had to come in here to get some sort of entertainment, says John Cino. Welcome, world. Welcome to Up Next.
How are you all doing? Yeah, slow news day indeed.
Yeah, really, eh?
Wow.
You're
You're seeing the chat in there? On YouTube?
Yeah.
I'm
seeing Eric Marcotte.
Nothing showing up on mine. Okay. Nothing showing up.
Is the volume low? Is it just me? Says John Cena.
Oops.
Don't smash the mics. Jeez, I'm joking. Is it low? Can you hear us?
Should sound good, I think.
It's fine for me, says Eric.
Yeah.
What about now, boys?
Yeah, it
People?
should be sounding fine. But
Watched AEW, but counting on you guys to recap NXT, says David.
Okay.
Thank you, David. Thank you for joining. We're going to watch AEW right after this.
I can't see any of the chats right now.
Well,
okay,
good.
Here it is. Yeah, I got it.
There we go. So
okay.
We're live on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes and the Hot Mic app.
And the Hot Mic app? What? What? How could this happen?
It's not showing on Hot Mic, but
Oh.
I think we'll get started anyway and let those guys figure that out for us.
Okay, should we tweet out this link, though?
I've tweeted out already. If you want to...
I don't see it.
It's on the upNXT one.
There it is.
How are we all doing today? So some of you watched NXT, some of you watched AEW. Hello, Kendall.
Kendall is always in the room. What up, Kendall?
I'm going to push a little bit towards you. So feed sounds good. Feed looks good. We've got some bubbly.
We got some bubbly indeed.
It's a Wednesday night.
Yes, it is. Wine Wednesdays, does it still count if it's bubbly?
Yeah, bubbly's a wine.
Perfect. I'm just tweeting out where we're on YouTube and such, Hot Mic and such. The whole gang is here. Eric Marcotte, obviously. Kendall, John Cino. The familiar faces, the usual suspects here. I just want to... Cool. Excellent. Hello.
Okay, are we ready to go?
I think we're ready to go.
I might be on my phone a little to chat to this guy, but I think we should get started anyway. Okay, cool. For some reason it's not showing up on my Hot Mic, so I might go on my phone to see that, see the room. But yeah, we are good to go.
Cool. So hello, YouTube room. Whoever's here right now. We're going to start doing our Up Next. So
Yeah.
welcome to our Wednesday night hangout here on YouTube. One sec. Sorry, guys. We're going to go. We're going to start. I swear. It's happening. Cool. All right. Let's do this. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, youtube.com/upNXT, which we are live right now every Wednesday night after NXT airs. We go live on our YouTube. Hello, YouTubers, everyone in the room right now.
Hello, Hot Mic as well. Everyone on the Hot Mic app
as well. Yes. Wherever you find your podcast, wherever you're listening to us from right now, wherever you may be, hello. We are your NXT friends. Friends. And Wednesday nights are for the boys, as some might say. So we are here in a time, it's WrestleMania season, you know, but you know what else it is? It's a...
I mean, I think last year, cancel culture really kind of ramped up a bit,
right.
didn't it?
Cancel culture, yeah.
it feels like 2020 is just embracing that, evolving that.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm tired of talking about this. I'm tired about hearing about this, but I feel it's something we kind of have to talk about.
What are we talking about?
Well, Harvey Weinstein got 23 years.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I mean, should have been a lot more, but hopefully he dies in jail.
He'll get it.
Hopefully he dies in jail.
But unfortunately, the world is about yin and yang and balance and
all
I know. That. So whilst one...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What's that?
You're talking about White Claws finally coming to Canada.
No, that's two good things.
Oh.
I'm talking about balance here.
Oh, right.
And, like, fucking, what's it called? The Cottage Springs. It's the same thing.
Right, but now
I don't know why people are lining up.
White Claws,
it's
right?
the same thing.
Right.
We've had hard seltzers for a while.
I thought that was the big news.
No.
Sorry. What's the big news?
The big news is, well, WrestleMania might be cancelled.
Oh, my. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, this is crazy, actually. Yeah, jokes aside, the world is kind of in this, all of a sudden, a pandemic. It's Wednesday night as we're recording this. Wherever you find your podcast, this is where you find us. And during NXT, we hear Trump has banned some flights from Europe.
The next 30 days, starting from Friday, all flights from Europe, excluding the UK, it seems. But I guess mainland Europe, flights are banned to try and kind of contain this virus going around.
Yep.
We have 2 NBA players have been reported to have had the coronavirus, and NBA games from now have been suspended. The rest of the season's been suspended.
Wow. And then some crazy news that just made me freak out during NXT tonight. Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Having the coronavirus, COVID-19.
And his wife.
Yeah, Rita Wilson.
Yeah, so...
Wow, very scary.
It's
so
crazy.
We poured a little bubbly out tonight.
We have.
Not just for Chris Jericho, because we do our AEW reviews on Thursday.
And we're not going to cheers, because we don't want to transfer germs.
Right.
But we're going to look at each other in the eyes, respect each other, and politely...
What about the elbows?
Bit of an elbow. Yeah, so we even recorded a show earlier for our Patreon.
Yeah.
And this is how, like, rapidly this news is changing. Because
exactly.
I must admit, I've been pretty blasé about the whole thing.
Sure.
I still am to an extent. But as each day goes on, it seems a bit crazier and crazier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm noticing the, like, hysteria it's causing the general public.
Of course.
And I talk about that a bit on our Was Next show, which will be dropping later this week.
Yes.
But honestly, since we recorded that, which was at about 5 p.m. today,
5:30, yeah.
So much more news has come in.
It's crazy.
So yeah,
I'm very like whatever. Some of my friends are like, oh, like, are you wearing masks? Are you? And I'm like, oh, no, like, not really. But then now it's like people are starting to more freak out, and part of me is like, yo, chill. I feel like boomers are freaking out.
Yeah.
And millennials are looking at flights.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing right now. Low key. Wrestle Kingdom, hopefully goes away. No. But actually, like, it's pretty scary.
Well, the thing, it's what I was saying to you earlier, because I bought a little bit of toilet roll. We were running low anyway. And normally where I just buy one, I bought 2.
Is this the end of the world?
But I was like, as much as we are thinking people are being ridiculous for going out and buying shit, well, if everyone's being ridiculous and buying shit, there won't be shit for us to buy who aren't being ridiculous.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So the whole thing's crazy. There've been, it's WrestleMania at this point in time is still going ahead.
Yes, as this
there was no comment about it at all.
They really hyped up WrestleMania at one angle and one point of the show, though.
And it was quite funny because I feel just a couple of days ago there were talks about, right, is WrestleMania going to be on ESPN Plus? And watching Elimination Chamber on Sunday, we're going, okay, are they advertising Mania for being on the network?
It was pretty dangerous putting tag teams in those chambers. That's how you can track coronavirus. And I watched that pay-per-view. Holy.
But now we're talking about, is it actually going to go ahead? Is it going to get moved? What? And obviously, I'm going.
So,
I'm planning on going. And right now, I'm saying I'm still going to Tampa.
Right.
Whether I'm going to WrestleMania or not.
Yeah.
But there was so Tampa put out a tweet, like the city of Tampa put out a tweet saying that they're kind of cancelling events over a certain amount of people, but then put out another one being like WrestleMania isn't part of this or something. WWE have been meeting with them. It's still, at this moment in time, very up in the air. I kind of think now it feels kind of inevitable it's not going ahead, with certain flights being cancelled and whole seasons of sport being suspended, and that it's pretty crazy. There was, just before we went on air, I saw a tweet, and obviously this was from @WrestleVotes, so take it with a pinch of salt. I don't know the credibility of the tweet or anything, but it's saying that there are currently discussions about relocating this Friday's SmackDown to the PC. So they're talking about moving actual arena events, shows. So yeah, it's
crazy.
It's kind of crazy right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're recording this just after NXT, again, live on our YouTube. So by the time you're maybe listening to this, maybe other things have come out, but it's pretty crazy because we're in Toronto here, and you see people wearing masks. You see people. We take precautions. We wash our hands a lot. You work in at a bar. You wash your hands a lot. I work in TV, and I use hand sanitizer a lot. I wash my hands quite often. So I mean, we're kind of whatever. It's a joke almost, as we've been joking about it, as many people have, and now it's like
it's the fact that people are now telling me to wash my hands. It's like, yeah, my parents told me to do that when I couldn't even speak. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's
still, I mean, that also, you just don't know. It could spread crazier. It could go away. One of my best friends, Shane, he's a guy in a wheelchair, and he just qualified for Team Canada for wheelchair rugby for Tokyo 2020, the Paralympics.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, this is incredible. And I love Japan, and I love my best friend, and I think this is an amazing thing. I want to travel to go there. And I'm looking at flights, and they're cheaper now because of this whole quote unquote pandemic. But part of me is like, do I risk this? Is that going to be itself canceled? Are fans not going to be allowed to go to the Olympics this year?
Yeah.
It could possibly happen. So I'm in a bind. So look at Wrestle Kingdom tickets, and I'm like, is now the time? But it's...
And obviously this is more serious than just, I can't go to this concert, I can't go to this event. But realistically, we cover pro wrestling on this show, and that's what we talk about. And obviously that's the big news is this is the Super Bowl of wrestling. This is the Olympics of wrestling.
Right.
Like, this is the big thing. And it looks like for the first time in 36 years that it might be cancelled or postponed. And at the moment, I'm kind of thinking it's likely. Apparently, probably by the time you're listening to this, a lot of you, because I know there's going to be an announcement tomorrow from what I've heard. We will probably know by then.
I can't imagine Vince McMahon somehow pulling his strings.
Oh, he won't. Well, he never gets ill, does he?
I guess. All I know is Tom Hanks, bro.
I know.
Tom Hanks, bro. I got shook.
Yeah.
I got scared. He's America's sweetheart.
I know.
Dude, I'm so scared. Hope
but
Tom Hanks is in our wishes tonight.
Can we maybe put a stop on this conversation for now? I'm kind of sick of it.
Sick of it. The coronavirus.
But that aside,
wash these hands.
Wash these hands. And how are you? I'm
good. We're drinking some bubbly. We decided to drink some bubbly tonight. It's Wine Wednesdays usually. Does it still count as a wine? I guess it's a sparkling wine. Sparkling wine. On our Wednesday night,
even though what's in this glass.
Even though we're
talking about being clean and healthy,
there's something in your glass.
Definitely some orange juice pulp,
it's freshly squeezed, baby.
Were you making mimosas before? You definitely made mimosas in this glass. Look at this. Okay, it was pre-outbreak. Am
I weird that I only drink orange juice with pulp? I can't do without.
No, I like either.
I can't do it
Depends
without.
on my mood.
We're drinking some bubbly, even though we are the NXT people, and we do our AEW reviews on our Patreon. And like you said, it's WrestleMania month, so for our Patreon, we came up with so many WrestleMania things. So we're trying to not to be so down, because tomorrow's going to be a really fun day for us, because we're doing another game that you've come up with, a podcast for our Patreon, The Greatest WrestleMania Ever, starring Davie Portman, Braden Herrington, John Pollock, Wei Ting, and Mike Murray. And that's available tomorrow night on our Patreon. And this is again, we mentioned WrestleMania season. We have so many cool shows planned. Coronavirus aside or not, we're still going through with these shows. So we're gonna be we can record podcasts in our bunker.
We
here
can
at
indeed.
the the Braden Davie estate.
Yeah, so we've got this game tomorrow. Those of you signed up to the patreon.com/upNXT, can see the rules, and people have been giving in like their cards. So we're essentially going to be playing the booker, but like every booker, there's always the complications. Like, oh, but this guy's the champion of this company, and then you've got your great mooters who will only do it if they get a 4-day Disney pass and all that. So we've put some complications in there. We are going to try and book the greatest WrestleMania and following a certain set of rules. And we're going to see at the end of the show who has the best WrestleMania. We've done similar kind of games with Survivor Series and the Rumble. They're always a lot of fun.
Wait, do you mean that one Rumble game where we played and it was Rumble Trivia and the John Pollock used me as a lifeline to help him answer the question, to help him go on to win?
That very game, Braden. Yes,
wow,
indeed.
that same game. Again, this is the great time to try us out because $5 you get to listen to all the past shows, including the past games, and this new game, and $5 you get to try us out. And shout out all the patrons from day ones through all the time now. It's been a few months and it's crazy this ride we're on. But shout out the new people who are joining us because again, like try us $5 this month, Mania month, why not? And you'll see that we have some fun with our Patreon, our patrons, all the Up Next stuff we've been doing, our Was Next, our best matches ever, which we're doing a bunch for this week, our Up Yours for our world champion patrons. There's so much stuff, and it's just been crazy. And like me and you have been working hard, and you especially, like you have put in so much time. You got a new computer. You decided to take some of the money we've made from working so hard, and you put it into buying new gear. So like, we're doing a lot of stuff, and like NXT leading into this takeover, I feel like it's in the people's kind of side because everyone's looking forward to Mania, and everyone's kind of into the AEW wave and the train that's going, but we're still following NXT. We're still the NXT friends, even though we do all the other shows as well. But we are here to talk about NXT tonight. But I am well. We're drinking some bubbly. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Aside from Corona scares.
Aside from that, I've been off for a couple of days, which was very nice. I went to see The Invisible Man yesterday with what's her name, Elizabeth Moss.
Yes,
is that right? I really liked it. Obviously, this is a film that's been done a couple of times and different variations. There's the original, which you've got. I've seen a couple of times. Then you've got films like Hollow Man.
Oh man,
with Kevin Bacon.
I low key want to review that down the line.
You know what? Man. I thought this was a really good adaptation.
Okay.
What I love is essentially the other films have kind of been a guy, like a kind of normal guy, like a scientist where becomes invisible, then becomes a bit of a dick after the fact.
Sure, of course.
This film plays on a woman who, in the opening scene, is running away from an abusive relationship.
Got you. Well, don't spoil the whole movie.
No, this is the premise, and the husband comes back invisible,
right?
And I think that fear, it's kind of rooted in more like reality, with the fear of a woman escaping from an abusive relationship anyway. Is always going to have the fear of that man coming back.
Okay.
So you've got that added element, and I thought it was great. I thought it was really good.
I haven't seen it yet, but it's supposed to be part of the new Universal Monsters. Now, you know, we are roommates. You've seen my room. It's full of Universal OG monster movie posters. And I love that this is kind of the relaunch. They're doing a soft relaunch of this universe. And just today they announced a new Dracula movie being announced from Universal. So it makes me want to ask everyone, who would you cast as a new Dracula in 2020 in this kind of world we're in right now? But it's interesting that they're kind of still remaking old time kind of classics, but going from such wonderful cinema, I work at a TV station.
Okay.
And I've already talked to you about this, but there's a TV show that I saw. Everyone's talking about like The Bachelor, and this guy Pete. I always tell people that wrestling is kind of the Bachelor, Bachelorette for guys. Like it's a silly storyline, but you follow it to see the end.
Sure.
Right? You want to know what happens, kind of thing. And The Bachelor, the big thing on TV and stuff. But there's a new show called Listen to Your Heart, where it's The Bachelor, but they pair bachelors and bachelorettes who are musicians, and they pair them together, and then they got to see who can win a record contract and who can find love and stuff. And I think it's a great premise that we should start a brand new podcast, new Patreon, where we just review The Bachelor, listen to your heart.
You know, I mean,
now the Roxette song is stuck in my head. And
if we're all going to be in quarantine, sure, I'll do it.
The greatest thing is we can podcast in quarantine.
We'll put out shows for everything. If that happens, sure, we can do a Bachelor, listen to your heart, listen to my heart, whatever it is. I'm down, sure.
Wow, Pilot Pete. Man.
When I should be in Tampa, I'll be talking about this show with you. I'm down.
Cheap flights everywhere, though. Cheap flights everywhere. Well, I guess we should talk about the show that we're actually here to talk about. And that is, of course, NXT. NXT from March 11th, 2012 is where we're talking about. Now, don't be alarmed, but NXT is in the PC. They are not in Full Sail tonight. No, not because of the coronavirus, but because of a pre-engagement that they had set up. So they are removed from one night to night, down the street essentially. It's still in Florida, still near Orlando. The Performance Center.
Yes.
The WWE PC. So here we are with NXT in the PC, and it looks kind of just like Full Sail.
Yeah,
to be honest,
kind of pretty similar. Yeah, I thought this would be a real opportunity to try somewhere a bit different. I know the PC is the kind of easy option, but I felt they could have really tried this week. Obviously, this would have been booked before all the current news was happening, and it's actually great that WWE have something like a Performance Center where they have a backup for events happening right now.
Yeah.
But I thought it would have been a real opportunity to get out of Full Sail, get in front of a new crowd, different kind of venue, give it a different look, give it a bit more buzz, and just kind of test the waters with it as well. See how it would do
in a traveling show
on the road live in front of a different audience.
It's such a weird thing. I don't even want to think of a world where NXT travels. Is that weird?
We have seen it
selfish?
before, but for like tapings.
Just leave it the way it is.
I don't know.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
It's broke. I'm going to say it's broke. It's not working right now.
We're going to get there. We had an argument earlier before. Not an argument, a discussion. Yeah. I agree. We discussed that maybe NXT's in this weird little lull. Maybe we peaked last year, Davie. Maybe Gargano, Adam Cole was the peak of NXT. And we'll never see that again. Hot take by the Braden.
Yeah.
At the Braden. Let me know. Am I off? Oh, also, I never plugged the upNXT Twitter, which we got to plug a lot. If you're on Twitter, hell, if you're not, but you want to support us and want to follow all the news and all the shows and all that stuff, at upNXT Podcast is where you can find it on Twitter. So the show starts off with the North American title on the line. Keith Lee is defending against Cameron Grimes, who has kind of snuck his way into this title picture here tonight. Cameron Grimes has altered it. There's like a weird four-way kind of thing going on with the guys wanting with the North American title. So we're not sure what the Tampa takeover match could be, if it even happens at all. So Grimes versus Keith Lee. He is Mauro Ranallo. Oh, Beth Phoenix is back, by the way.
She's back.
Excellent. She's okay. She can take an RKO. She's a beast. Cameron Grimes attracts trolls like Twitter attracts troglodytes, says Mauro Ranallo, taking a shot to social media there. Grimes tries to send some strikes to Keith Lee's face, but he no-sells it and then does this double chop, which just looks like it hurts, and leaves a mark on the chest of Grimes. But he has wrist control and then just hoofs Grimes out of the ring. Grimes back in the ring, goes for a tope to the outside, but gets caught from Keith Lee like nothing, but lands on the apron and then kind of stomps in on the chest of Lee on the apron there. Looked pretty cool. It looked like it would actually really hurt. And then he goes for a tope again, gets caught. I swear he did this like two or three times.
This is the story of the match. He keeps on, because Keith Lee is known for his highlight reel of being able to catch dudes flying in the air and slam them.
We've seen him catch like Dijakovic.
Yeah.
Who's big.
But the story here was kind of, Cameron Grimes kind of knew he would scout him and try and catch him, because each time he managed to slip out and stomp on him or whatever.
Right. No, yeah. He catches everyone, so catching Cameron Grimes isn't a big feat, but it still looks really cool. So he keeps getting caught, and then Lee like sweeps the legs. Back in the ring, Grimes hits a crossbody, and then during the break, during P&P, it's just Grimes kind of doing rest holds and wearing down Keith Lee. Back in the ring, he goes for a crossbody, but Lee hits his like running crossbody block, which looks awesome, just crushing him. They exchange a bunch of strikes, but Cameron hits a bunch of super kicks, and then somehow, someway, Cameron Grimes, who is a lot smaller than Keith Lee. Keith Lee is like a Kodiak bear, and Cameron Grimes is like miniature Hangman Page with a cool hat. But he somehow, I love Cameron Grimes, he somehow deadlift German suplexes Keith Lee. Me and you
this
both.
This is very impressive.
You watching wrestling with me and you is a lot of fun. A lot of our friends have said, because we like get into it, we lose it, we shout, we lose our minds. And this, we both didn't even really shout. We just went, our mouths just went, oh, how did he do that?
Yeah.
What? Really? Did that just? Are we drinking too much bubbly?
Yeah, because a deadlift, there's not much jumping you can do.
Of course, Keith Lee is doing it.
There's got to be a bit of help.
Of course,
but
Keith Lee is doing it.
It looks like the delayed slow lift. It looked very cool.
A little bit, like, there was a few seconds there where he is deadlifting this dude, and wow, very impressive. Cameron Grimes, just crazy. But Keith Lee kicks out. There is a moonsault, but Keith Lee counters it with like a power slam position, but Cameron Grimes counters the counter with the DDT, and then he sets up for the cave-in, but he gets caught up in the powerbomb, counters out of that, super kick, runs the ropes, but runs right into the pounce period. Keith Lee picks up Cameron Grimes up on his shoulders in the fireman carry and hits the jackhammer, or something called the big catastrophe, the big bang catastrophe, the jackhammer fireman carry.
It's the jackhammer into a power slam, yeah.
Cameron Grimes sells it like he absolutely dies. Way better than the jackhammer I saw on The Fiend at that one show.
Different jackhammer, though.
Right, yeah, sure. And Keith Lee pins Cameron Grimes. Keith Lee retains the North American Championship. There is an angle after the match, but before I go into that, what did you think of this match? Because this was a lot of fun, but I was expecting maybe just a little bit more from both of these guys.
I feel it's the same way I felt about NXT in general for a few weeks now. I know these guys are going to have a good match, but whatever it is, it doesn't get to that next level. I'm feeling it very I don't know if staged is the right way, but even with Lee now, we've seen him do some really cool stuff, but the repeated catching and then the frowning and like shaking the head, it feels very, this is what your character does, and catch the guy and then look in the camera and look mean with it. It doesn't feel organic anymore.
Okay, yeah, you're right, because he keeps doing it.
And I feel this with the whole show in general right now. It's, we've seen all these guys have really good matches, but it's getting very repetitive.
Are we just in cruise control, maybe? Is that what? We're just like kind of going through the motions?
I think so. And part of me is maybe I go back to the setup and working these small crowds. It's, what works. They all know what they can do that gets a big reaction because it's a small diehard crowd, whereas I don't know. It's just not working for me. And it's not to say the wrestling's bad, because it really isn't, and I'd take this over something on SmackDown any day.
Yeah, definitely.
But I just feel all these combinations I've seen so many times.
This just wasn't it just didn't get to like a big enough level. It just it just kind of felt like it was going through the motions. And I love both of these guys. Yeah. I'm a huge Cameron Grimes supporter, day one, but interesting. But after the match, out comes Damian Priest, the Vampire. He attacks Keith Lee with a nightstick, that damn nightstick. I didn't know vampires use nightsticks.
Of course they do. What else?
I didn't know that. Come on now. Damian Priest is the new Dracula?
Can't be using your teeth live on TV. Everyone will know. You need something else.
Wow. Well, he attacks with a nightstick, but out comes Dominic Dijakovic. He comes in for the save, scares off Priest, but Keith Lee didn't see who attacks him. So as Keith Lee is getting up, Dijakovic picks up the North American title. Looking at it, Keith Lee thinks Dijakovic attacked him. Therefore, he spirit bombs Dijakovic, standing tall. Just a clusterfuck, really. malfunction at the junction, I guess you could say. So Keith Lee didn't know. So it's going to come out now. Dijakovic's going to be like, yo, what the fuck?
And he was then getting boos because I don't think you twigged right away. And I was like, oh, I don't think he saw it was Priest that attacked him. And I was going to say Full Sail then. But the PC definitely didn't clock onto this because they were booing.
Yeah. It's interesting because I guess we're going to see some sort of... Is Priest still in this picture? Is it a triple threat match?
Well, when are we getting
Cameron
this
Grimes
Fight
lost,
Forever match? Is that going to be on TV and we're pushing towards a 4-way or what? Or is this a 3-way with just these 3 guys?
Man, I'll tell you, I went to that Vertigo again. I saw a lot of Davie and Priest looking vampires.
Yeah.
This past weekend. Let me tell you. You want to see?
Looking for 3-ways and 4-ways.
That's what he does. That's his gimmick with the nightstick. Yeah. I didn't see any nightsticks. Security pats you down really well. But I saw a few people looking like Damian Priest. Definitely. There's no garlic in these after hours. I just want to see one-on-one between Keith Lee and Dijakovic. I kind of don't want the vampire involved.
I don't know. We've seen it a bunch. I don't know what more they could do, really.
You would rather see a triple threat than a singles? Am I wrong? I want to see the singles again. I guess I
don't want to see the singles on TakeOver. I'd rather see...
At upNXT podcast.
I'd rather see something different with none of these guys.
We go to something we thought we would never see again. I'm kidding. That's Mia Yim versus Dakota Kai. So Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying the name right now. Yeah. Name changes are hard for me. Once you're someone in my head, I think of you as that person. So...
Did you ever learn the original one?
What was it before?
Exactly. There we go. There we go.
You got me there. So Mia Yim, Dakota Kai, they have some beef here. They have some history. As Dakota Kai's just pissing everyone off here, essentially, in the women's division in NXT. As the bell rings, Mia Yim keeps going for different types of quick roll-ups to try to get the quick pin, kind of pissing off Dakota Kai. And then there's a sweep of the leg, sort of like... knee attack from the front, and then a low drop kick to the face for a 2 count. Raquel gets involved, but the ref doesn't see, which gives Dakota the advantage. They come back from a break, and Mia hits like a series of drop kicks and the cannonball in the corner for a 2 count. Dakota Kai fights back and hits the chiropractor, which I need right now.
Cool looking move, yeah.
Yeah, it looks really cool, the back breaker cracker thing. But Mia kicks out, only a 2 count. Mia hits some like really cool, huge power bomb that she used the top turnbuckle for like an assist there. But somehow Raquel, when the ref can't really see because the view is skewed, Raquel breaks the pin up. But Mia Yim is pissed, which then the ref is distracted. There's an O'Connor roll from Kai to Mia, but the ref is bitching out Raquel, which Dakota Kai's like, yo, what the fuck? Turns around, hits the eat defeat, the protect your neck, the code breaker type kind of move there, and Mia Yim pins Dakota Kai just like that. And Mia Yim goes on to the NXT TakeOver Tampa Women's Ladder Match, #1 contendership. And after the match, Raquel hits this huge Texas tornado bomb on Mia Yim, taking her out, and like consoles Dakota and is like, I'm sorry.
I didn't think the match was too bad. I liked Mia Yim's aggression early on. I think Kai is more and more coming into this role as a heel. I like the pairing of her and Raquel Gonzalez. I thought the post-match attack, the ease that Gonzalez hit the Texas tornado bomb looked awesome because Mia Yim's not tiny. I thought it looked effortless. I thought that looked really impressive. I was surprised Mia won, and I was waiting to see on the result on the later match because I figured if Tegan wins the next match, they're going to have a blow-off match, maybe at Tampa.
Maybe.
But with Dakota losing here and Tegan, spoilers, winning later, I think we're probably going to see some like last chance battle royal or fatal 4-way or something to determine the last slot, because I can't see Dakota not being in this match at Tampa.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. So far it's Mia Yim and Chelsea Green at this point, but later we'll add someone else. We see earlier tonight, or just moments ago, Ciampa walking through the Performance Center parking lot towards the arena because tonight he wants to talk to Johnny Gargano because Johnny said he would be here live. I mentioned it, I think, last week. We've talked about the history of the Full Sail parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
Now, just because you are at the Performance Center doesn't mean the parking lot is safe, because everyone knows that Florida parking lots are sketchy AF. Therefore, Ciampa, you should have not.
Apart from the car park you'll get to stay in for free if you go to John Way's show on Mania Day.
Wow, great
That's
plug.
a very safe car park.
Wow, I bought.
So I've heard.
I bought weed in a Florida parking lot once.
Cool.
True story.
Cool story.
Yeah, it goes more in depth, but Patreon exclusive world champion definitely only. Ciampa is here. However, he's not attacked in the parking lot of the PC. In case you were wondering, he's okay, but he's here tonight. We see one of these very creepy vignettes. We were talking about Dracula and Invisible Man and scary movies. Well, here is a scary movie cut all together, VHS tapes, 7 days. It's like The Ring, Ringu, whatever you want to call it. Looks awesome.
Pingu.
Pengu?
Pingu.
You know who Pengu is? I thought that was a Canadian show.
Pingu the Penguin.
Oh, yeah, he's lit. Pengu's
great.
lit. Wow. Shout out Pengu. Someone just popped real hard right now.
Everyone knows who Pingu is.
Really? Am I like, I think, I don't know. Someone doesn't know who they are.
Everyone knows who Pingu is.
Okay, good.
It's always on TV.
Pengu.
And then when I went to Portugal as a kid, you'd get these ice creams in a Pingu head.
Yeah, of course. Okay, great. Okay, we are on the same page. Well, Pengu is not involved in this Killer Cross vignette, which I think is Killer Cross. We are suspecting. Am I?
No, I'm pretty sure it's him.
We also now hear a voice of a woman kind of in reverse, and it could be Scarlett Bardot, whatever her name is.
Bordeaux?
Not dissing her, but I don't know. Is it Bardot?
I think it's Bordeaux.
Bardot.
Mm.
Killer Cross and Scarlett Bardot. I know the dude is a big fan of scary movies, horror movies, so instantly we like him. So I think if that's kind of the gimmick, kind of him, this power couple here in NXT, you know what? We're talking about how we're in a state of just kind of going through the motions. Then something like this could maybe spice things up.
Do you push him right to the top?
North American.
You think that level?
Yeah.
Because I can see it being a debut at TakeOver.
It's a debut at TakeOver,
but
100%.
not like a front row debut, as in a big angle taking out the top guy kind of thing.
I also kind of think it said trick or treat in the thing. And again, if you listen to this podcast, if you go through the free feed, you can find our Halloween, OG Halloween 1 and 2. I think we did.
We did.
Because, those are our favorite movies here. So Trick or Treat, indeed. I need to see some Killer Cross. I don't know too much about him. I've watched a little bit about him. Wasn't a huge fan until I kind of saw him get into his own, and he's become something. And then he kind of disappeared off the indies with this whole Impact thing. So now he's free, and now he's here in NXT. So I think it could be good things for NXT. But it says tick-tock because there's a clock, which is interesting because the person it cuts to next is also a time splitter. It's Kushida, who you mentioned has some interesting wrist tape on tonight.
Yeah, so he had Never Forget with the date March 11th on his wrist tape, which goes back to the earthquake that happened in Japan in 2011.
Like tsunami almost, right? Like it was crazy. Watching today some of the recaps of is it 10 years now or 11 years?
I think it said 2011 when I looked it up earlier.
Yeah, so maybe 9 years because that was some scary stuff and just crazy. So Kushida,
2011,
yeah, Kushida, sending his love on his wrist tape. And you said that if it was main roster, he'd lose tonight.
Yeah, that's what
but
happens.
It's NXT. You're a good guy.
Yeah.
Well, Kushida is going up against is it back-to-back?
Oh, yeah.
Two-time
Enhancement Talent of the Year on this very podcast.
Yes.
The most prestigious NXT awards there are going.
Yeah.
Raul Mendoza.
Yeah, you know what? You can take our Andrades. You can take our Angel Garzas. You can take our Humberto Carrillos. But you can never take our Raul Mendoza.
Are you sure, though?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yes, I'm joking because what interesting things transpire after this match. But let's get into this match because already I'm sold. Yes, you've mentioned on this very show we've only been doing for what 2 years now, and sort of we've done 2 best of the year, best and worst of NXTs again on this feed, where we do a draw of best enhancement talent. See, it's NXT. We don't call them jobbers here. That's a word we do not use.
No, you don't have jobbers in NXT.
We have enhancement talent, and Raul Mendoza for the past few years has been on fire. Like, this guy could easily be making Raw, SmackDown rounds. Like, he knows in and out how to work the ring. He's a fun guy to watch. And you've always mentioned how you're a big fan of him. And Mansoor. Mansoor's moved on to be Saudi champion. The Saudi streak.
The streak continues.
But Raul, rather, here in NXT has his role, and we love him here. And to see him go up against Kushida is kind of cool. We were pretty pumped to hear this news. So Kushida, one-on-one with Raul Mendoza. And as the bell rings and they lock up, just as we expected, they go back and forth. There's cartwheels, backflips. They're technical and fast. Just crazy. And then there's a spot early where Kushida thinks it's a stalemate, but Raul one-ups him and drop kicks Kushida right in the face. There's a rope run up on the top rope from Raul, but he runs into the baseball punch, which sends him to the outside, and Kushida hits the tope.
That looked really cool. That punch as Raul jumped off.
Yeah, it looked awesome. Then Raul, back in the ring, fights back, hits this what's the Gold Dust move where he lifts the final curtain call?
The curtain call?
It's the vertical suplex brainbuster spinning thing.
Yeah.
Raul hits that, but faster and spinning, like Eddie Guerrero brainbuster type thing here. And then and then a lion salt, but it's only a 2 count. And then Kushida fights back, hits a back handspring, just like one of his idols and his trainers, Tajiri, and then hits a rolling thunder, but it's countered into this drop kick to the face. There's a handspring enziguri by Raul in the corner, and then they're fighting up top, and there's the hoverboard Kimura up top on the top turnbuckle from Kushida, but he unlocks it, lets go of it, and then hits a top rope Hurricane Rana into the flying cross arm breaker, and Raul Mendoza taps because they fly off the top turnbuckle.
Yeah, he just wraps his legs around the shoulder.
Yeah.
Falls off.
Okay.
It looked fantastic.
Right when this match was starting and Kushida's music was playing and he was making his entrance, I said out loud to you, I really hope I get to see him hit a flying arm breaker out of nowhere. And it's the finish of this match. This move is crazy.
Yeah, it looks
great. Flying arm breaker, cross arm bar, whatever you want to call it, just looks crazy. Raul Mendoza tapped out, but hats off to Raul Mendoza.
Oh, for
enhancement talent. I'm already going to say it 3 years in a row. For 2020.
This might have been my favorite match of the night, to be honest.
This was only a few minutes.
As I said, I think that the opening match, with a lot of NXT matches, it's kind of, I don't know, it seems formulaic, and they're kind of going through their beats, whereas this it felt fluid. It felt 2 guys with a pretty similar style. They're bringing up how Kushida trained in Mexico, so he knows that style very well. Mm-hmm. So they seem to be having a fight in their own style. I kind of believed it. I thought the end looked great. Raul Mendoza always knocks out the park. This was a great showing for Kushida as well. I think Raul Mendoza was great for him. So yeah, this was my match of the night.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. You could definitely argue that I really enjoyed it from start to finish. I don't think we both looked away from the TV, and it's hard to say that in the world of watching any content really, where you're kind of looking away or whatever. But here we're like, whoa, they're doing so many. Once you saw some backflips and cartwheels, we were like, what the fuck's happening here? And then it just kind of suckered us in, and it was a lot of fun. I absolutely love Kushida, one of my favorite wrestlers ever. And to see Raul Mendoza kind of lock it up, even for a few minutes here, was a lot of fun on Wednesday night. Also, what happened on Wednesday night was earlier today at the Performance Center. We have Mackenzie Mitchell, former Impact interviewer here.
Oh, I've never seen that show.
Big fan.
Okay.
I follow her on Instagram.
Sure. Okay.
Yep. She's interviewing Tyler Breeze here in the Performance Center. She's like, hey, it's a big night here for NXT because it's NXT in the PC. He says, yeah, you see, Tyler Breeze wouldn't exist if it wouldn't have been for the Performance Center. But the interview is interrupted, rather, by Austin Theory. He says, hey, Tyler Breeze, big fan, man, big fan. I loved when you were on that, what was it, Tough Enough? What was he on? The
Breaking Ground?
Breaking Ground.
Yeah, it was the PC graduates and how they're gonna. It was a documentary.
I remember reviewing it at one point. He says, yeah, I loved when you were on Breaking Ground, Tyler Breeze. I loved it. Yeah, I was in high school. You see, the Performance Center makes superstars, and then they also make megastars. But you see, some people just don't pan out to be like that. And he's dissing Tyler. So Tyler pulls his cell phone out. Tyler Breeze then takes a picture of Austin. And Austin's like, did you just take a picture of me? He says, yeah. I just wanted to make sure and show you that you look great, for a flash in the pan, and then walks off, leaving Austin Theory very upset.
I like that this is 3 weeks in a row now we've had Austin Theory on TV. I'm very high up on this guy. I think he's complete all-rounder, and Tyler Breeze looks like someone he's a name that he can beat, and he's expendable.
When Tyler Breeze showed up he got a haircut, he looked like you.
He looks like me, right?
Are you Tyler Breeze?
I'm Tyler Breeze.
You're Canadian now, technically. Sort of.
Yeah, so I quite like this.
So we're going to see this match.
Some good lines there. Yeah, I assume this is next week.
We're going to go all day.
How do you feel about... Because Did you watch Raw this week or see clips from it?
I watched some parts.
Did you watch the AJ promo?
Yes.
So
Thanks to YouTube.
I know listening to like John and Way's show, they bring up a point about how I think it was Way, who isn't quite sure what he feels about someone bringing up something that's kind of true. It's
right.
like Undertaker, like using in a promo, Undertaker, you're past it and you've kind of been shit since you lost against Brock and you haven't had a good match in years.
Right.
And it's kind of, there's that excitement watching it as an audience member going, oh, he's speaking the truth here. But also you go, yeah, but also if Undertaker puts on another shit match, it's really embarrassing to actually bring attention to it. Yeah. And I know this is a smaller scale, but it's completely true.
No,
Tyler Breeze has been a complete, it sounds really harsh, but a failure, really.
Right.
He's not been to the level he wanted to be. Because I always looked at him as talented. Yeah. And I always thought he could
go far,
move up to the main roster, keep the kind of gimmick, have a bit of a tag team, and maybe break out and drop the silliness. I saw him as maybe like an Edge and Christian, have some fun being like a comedy tag team,
and he did,
who could go serious when they need to, and then break out and actually have the talent to move on and be like, maybe change his name a bit and be a more...
Never. Breeze is gorgeous, come on.
But he never really... he had a bit of fun with Breezango, and then...
I feel the same way, because, look, I too agree. You know, like, just recently, I feel like maybe in the past year or two, there was that promo where John Cena made fun of the Usos with DUI. And it was like, you go, oh, that's, like, funny that you said that, but, ooh, should you have said that? Because that's pretty fucked up. It reminds me...
Cena and Rock would do it all the time.
See, Cena and Rock, but it was really CM Punk who kind of in this era opened it up. But I always think of Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, because those guys would say some shit that they shouldn't have said to each other on television.
But also the difference is there they were top of the game and talented.
Yeah,
Punk bringing up like Jeff Hardy's substance abuse or something like that. Jeff was still putting on good matches. At the time, and it fed into the feud. Jericho did it back to Punk with, I think, getting personal like that. But then I remember, I think Cena brought up Cesaro's pepperoni nipples. And it's like, well, the guy can't change anything about that. And it's something you don't think. And then you see it and you're like, all you can see is this guy's got nipples that look like pepperoni. I
forgot about that.
And The Rock would do it all the time. They'd get away with it. But I think, kind of as a rule, it's something you shouldn't. You should try to be supporting your opponent, even if they're the bad guy or the good guy.
I do like the AJ thing, because it's like, that's how a lot of us have been feeling.
Oh, completely.
Right?
And don't get me wrong, it excited me.
Yeah.
But I'm also, you've got to put on Taker has to put on a killer performance.
All I'm thinking though, like legit, like I just mentioned Sean and Brett, like anything anyone ever says, to me, I always think of, is it Sean that says like, well, there's sunny days? And I was like, bro. And everyone's like, well, did it happen? Oh, God. Oh, to this day, that makes like the Edge and Lita thing. But you never knew if that thing happened.
Yeah.
You see what Bret Hart thinks about Hulk Hogan?
No, well, I think a lot of people feel that about Hulk
Hogan. So Austin Theory versus Tyler Breeze is going to happen very soon. And it's going to get real.
I think it could be a fun match.
Tyler Breeze is going to come out. Next week he's gonna cut a promo on WWE.com or something, Twitter. And he's gonna say, "Yeah, Austin Theory, well, you're 22, 23. You ain't shit. You stupid kid."
You know what you should do?
Yeah.
Come out with a ship tattooed on his chest and a transformer on his neck and be fucking edgy.
Wow.
Edgy Breeze.
Yeah. It's like Tyler Breeze was Zoolander. Zoolander was really good. And then they were like, "Yo, should we do Zoolander too?" And they were like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, you should." But like,
I never saw it.
Me neither. I guess that's like Tyler Breeze's. Did it happen? Because no one ever saw it. Wow. Blue Steel. Blue Steel for life. What is this? A PC for ants? Because Rhea Ripley, the NXT Women's Champion, comes down to the ring. Who's a giant? But is she next to Charlotte? I guess we'll find out. Or maybe we'll find out in Tampa for WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley comes out. She says,
She strikes a pose.
She always does her pose, no matter what. Everyone.
Do you think she turns up to a party and just opens the door?
You don't do that?
Stamps down. She turns up to work.
Whoa, you don't do that? Down. You do that when we leave our house.
I do. If there's double doors, I do the Aragorn. You know, in Two Towers, when he pushes open those two doors, I do that, and then like slowly lift up my head.
No, you gotta do that.
Running up the stairs, I do the Kurt Angle run, and then the Zack Sabre Jr. pose.
Yeah, you do that.
I don't think I'd stomp my foot.
What's mine? I don't know if I have one. Do I do one? When I leave our Korean Japanese grocery store across the street, they have an automatic exit door that I use when I have a handful of groceries, and it opens for you, so it's my gorilla position. But you do Zack Sabre Jr., Kurt Angle, but what's mine? I walk out and
you do Pingu.
Wow, see, you just did what Austin Theory did to Tyler Breeze. You got too real and too personal.
I'm sorry.
You say I walk like Gato. Got disjointed legs. Dysmorphia or something. I don't really have that. No. Rhea Ripley doesn't have that either, but she's got ripped jeans, so that's cool. Rhea Ripley says, "I don't know if you've been watching, but Charlotte on Raw, you can't psych me out. Because WrestleMania, everyone's going to find out that the Queen will bow." And out comes Charlotte Flair. She's here live at the Performance Center. She comes out and she's getting booed by the crowd here at the PC. And they say, "You don't go here," in unison. "You don't go here," chants. And she says, "I don't go here? Huh. Yeah, guys. Well, I'm made here. So shut up." She says, "Look, it's WrestleMania season, so everyone's buzzing because it might get canceled. But 80,000 people are going to find out, just like you are, that I'm taking you to deep waters, and I'm going to drown the fastest rising star in the WWE." Then she comes to the ring. They start to brawl. There's a boot to the face from Flair. She goes for the figure four, but Rhea gets out of it, blocks it. They brawl outside the ring. Rhea gets thrown into the ring post, and Charlotte somehow locks in the classic figure four around the ring post. We were talking about Bret Hart earlier. Well, this is a classic. We did our best match ever with Bret Hart. We did our best match ever for Valentine's Day. Bret Hart. In every match we watched, he was doing this signature move.
He loved this move.
This would kill your legs. Figure four alone hurts so much. You ever get lit at a party and do a figure four? That's how you actually could break. I've heard a guy who said that in high school, someone did it to him and it broke his shin, and now on his shin he has a tattoo of something that has nothing to do with Ric Flair. But I was like, oh well, I would have gotten like something cool on it. But
you know my friend Chuck, big guy, he was mouthing off about how figure four, dumbest move. How does that hurt? I was like, okay, I'm gonna lock it in. So all right, lets me put it in. I'm like, you ready? It's like, yeah. Don't
tell me he broke his leg.
No, he has broken his ankle before though. Slam down the leg, and he's like, "Oh my god!" and starts tapping.
It's really one of the most painful moves. Like legit,
you're just pushing the two shins against each other.
Yeah, it's the shins. Like that's that's how Donald Trump got shin splints. What is it?
Shin splints.
Shin splints. He's doing the figure four too many times. Getting locked in that figure four. So Charlotte has Rhea Ripley in the figure four around the ring post. Oh my goodness! Mauro Ranallo says the Queen has spoken. Rhea Ripley just like injured there, like my legs, and Charlotte stands tall.
This to me kind of feels where before brand split, and you'd have stories going on Raw and SmackDown.
Right.
A lot of the time you could they might do something else on SmackDown, but I feel you can skip it and just watch Raw the next week. I feel a lot of this feud should be like, they need to be doing more than just their brawling on NXT.
Sure.
I feel this is the opportunity this is where they should be doing a real personal, deeper story where you want to know what happens next, you tune into NXT. Because that's the idea of it. They're putting Charlotte there because they want
what's up next.
They want people to find out what's up next. Whereas this just, oh well, I'm better than you, and you don't go here and then fight.
I like Charlotte saying that I'm gonna drown the fastest rising star, because everyone's like, oh, Rhea Ripley when she had that hot streak winning this title, everyone's talking about Rhea Ripley in women's wrestling, really. And I think Charlotte, maybe we were just talking about promos where you kind of use the real factor. You could have had Charlotte, you could have had Rhea be like, everyone knows you're the WWE's like, you know, the girl, the one woman, and I'm gonna beat you and stuff like that. But I don't know, you could have had Charlotte's already the heel here, I guess. And I personally want Charlotte to win this match at WrestleMania if this match happens. Yeah, because Charlotte is one of my favorite wrestlers, man or woman. I just enjoy her thing. A lot of her matches, maybe I don't agree with some of the outcomes where she's come on top. Asuka WrestleMania that one time. But there's a few things where she, like her winning this Rumble I popped for that. So
yeah, how much? I don't know. Is this feud working for you?
To be honest, in this feud, I think it is Rhea Ripley in last week with her at the XFL Stadium for Tampa, where she's like, ever since I showed up, people have been comparing me to Charlotte. I am one of those people. The first second I saw Rio, I was like, whoa, that kind of looks like Charlotte. Because if you see what she looked like, well, look what she looked like. Like, they show the before and after. What she looks like now is not what she looked like before. No. So, and Charlotte, but like, and like, right? Like, they look different. So like, yeah, people did compare her to Charlotte. So. I am interested in this match, but I am the person who says that Charlotte goes over. Charlotte, to me, is John Cena of women's wrestling in WWE. To me, I am 100% Charlotte person. And we've talked about on our AEW upNXT show on Thursdays, Patreon, where we think the AEW needs kind of this like jump start to the women's division, like a shock treatment there. And Sasha Banks would be the one to go there to like just revive something, to start a spark there. And she's someone who all of these people who are coming from NXT, which is just kind of crazy. But
I do feel
the feud itself, whatever. I don't know. What do you think?
I feel Rhea Ripley fizzled out real fast for me. I thought she looked great at Survivor Series. That SmackDown after Saudi Arabia where she showed up, the feud with Shayna. She seemed hot, and I think it fizzled away very quickly. Right. And I think it's because I don't think her promo is necessarily there. I don't think it's as bad as some people feel it is, but I think as soon as you inserted Bianca into the mix a few weeks ago, you go, oh, Bianca sparkles. Yeah. And I think she would make a way more interesting feud with Charlotte. And I agree. I just think because this has been kind of, we saw this coming since January, and then there was a feud in the middle with Bianca. I don't know, I just feel they're going through the motions of a storyline and that nothing really more has happened. I don't dislike your idea of Charlotte winning. I would kind of like to see Charlotte as a Brock Lesnar almost holding this title hostage. Like,
does this count as one of her 16-time wins? Probably.
Yeah,
it would.
Yeah. But have her still be on she's Raw, isn't she? Yeah. Have her holding the NXT Championship on Raw and only make special appearances on NXT. And then you can have a rise in the NXT women's division like you've had with Brock Lesnar, where people go, oh, well, the title's never defended and blah, blah, blah. She can kind of have that, and then you can have either your Biancas, your Ios, your Candice.
Where's my Io Shirai?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, whoever gets hot down there, because they've all got potential to catch fire.
Well, what does JR used to say in 2012 NXT that we've watched? Potential don't buy you groceries. No. They don't. Potential. I love Charlotte, and when I look at Charlotte, I think wow, that's Ric Flair's daughter, and I big fan of Ric Flair here in the.
He's
DVD.
alright, isn't he? He's okay.
Like he's literally we quote him, we walk around like him in the house, as do many wrestling fans. And when I think, wow, if Charlotte had a daughter, what would the like female equivalent of the Nature Boy be? And I think, and I see Charlotte and everything, what she looks like, how she acts, and how she wrestles and everything. She is spot on, become a mega star.
I find her way too scripted. I don't like all this Queen thing because it just seems a very WWE moniker.
Right.
Whereas Ric Flair, you feel, came up with the Nature Boy, came up with
Well, he stole it.
all his pro. Yeah, he stole it though. He stole it. It wasn't written down for him and handed to him.
Sure.
He stole it. He owned it.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas it's fine. I don't know. I feel very negative. Maybe it's
you're
everything going on
because of the corona.
Maybe.
I need to hear Charlotte say, "I'm having a hard time holding these red bottoms down," like Ric Flair would say about the Gators. We have a video package for Walter, the NXT UK champion, and Finn Balor. Now they're going back and forth here. The obvious match that everyone's thinking about is TakeOver Tampa, Finn versus Walter, NXT UK title on the line. We've seen Fabian Eichner, Bartel attack Finn, and now we mentioned off the top of this very show that there's travel bans and this whole virus pandemic, and here in this video we see it ending with Finn Balor holding up a blue passport.
Yeah, an Irish passport.
An Irish blue passport. What does that mean? Is
well,
it Brexit?
No, well, he's not UK. He's
Sorry.
He's.
Apologies.
It's okay. We all make mistakes. No, I think I confused you because I said like our passports have changed to blue, the UK ones. But yeah, he says something along the lines of, and you never know where I might show up next, and he holds up his passport, implying that he's probably going to show up in Tampa.
I don't read ahead.
Well, he's in Ireland at the moment. He's doing Irish
things.
No, he's doing WWE UK. He's doing tapings.
Yes, he has.
And so he holds it up. But this is minutes after the news has broken that Donald Trump has banned Europe from coming to the United States, apart from the UK. But he's holding up an Irish passport. So
he's like, look,
I don't know if that counts.
Is he going to come back? What if he flied there and he's not allowed back come Friday? Does UK? What does Ireland count as? Europe?
So Northern Ireland is part of the UK. Like UK, Ireland, all of that is Europe.
Right.
But I feel the ban is mainly mainland Europe because that's where Italy is, where a lot of the cases are. Whereas the UK and Ireland are islands. Mm-hmm. So, and I think Trump just likes UK, I guess. So he's like, those guys are fine.
Well, he says lies travel faster than truth. Well, I hope coronavirus doesn't travel faster than lies.
Yeah, it was just bad timing, and WWE tweeted
the video
like,
and everything,
right away, and it's like,
then it's like, oh.
It's literally as this news is breaking.
Bad timing, because it ends with him holding up his passport.
Obviously, we've got the OTT has a big match coming up. Is it this weekend? It's the David Starr John Moxley match.
Yeah,
and you got to wonder, are AEW gonna let Moxley travel? How will they feel about that?
Just come to Canada and drive down.
What?
Just fly from Europe to Canada and drive down.
No, I'm talking about John Moxley going to Ireland. Just drive down to Ireland?
No.
From Canada?
When he needs to fly from Ireland to Canada.
Oh, okay, down. I'm with you. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. That's what we do. That's what people do. They're like, whoa, this is expensive. Canada's somewhere in the world I want to travel to. Better drive to the U.S.
I mean, we've got the Scrump Room. He can have a layover.
Moxley, you're invited to crash in the Scrump Room in the Braden Davie estate, the BD. The Scrump Room is available.
Yeah.
We do have to clean it out a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
But, all right.
We know people who are mates with your wife, I think.
I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure she lives in our neighborhood.
Oh, yeah?
Like, legit, like, no bull. I've watched that Total Divas, and I knew who she was but way before WWE. But I'm pretty sure she lives in our neighborhood.
Did they go to a restaurant on Harvard?
Yeah, they went to Flock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flock. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's like really close to our house.
That's like minutes away.
Yeah, and I followed her since she was a host for a Canadian show, Renee Young, and she's always like, look, I'm in my neighborhood. And I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure we live in your neighborhood. I think we're neighbors. We're pretty much neighbors.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool.
So Moxley, come on down to Canada if you need to fly. If you're looking,
I mean, realistically, he'll probably stay at his wife's place if she lives just down the road.
But he wants a boys' night.
He wants a boys' night.
Yeah, we'll all wear eye patches. Masks, eye patches.
Mask, eye patches. We can play about with the AEW title. You wanted to trade your spinner belt.
I want to trade my
See if he's interested.
John Cena spinner belt that's autographed by Jericho and Dolph
Let's
Ziggler
get
for no reason
John
at all.
Moxley lit and trade
We'll
him.
steal the AEW
Trade
title.
him the
Take him to a
spinner belt
steakhouse.
signed by who? Dolph Ziggler?
I have the John Cena spinner belt signed by Jericho and Dolph Ziggler. How about that?
Neither of them held that.
I know. How funny is that? How great is that? Someone out there, someone please buy or trade me title belts because I think we should get the NXT for our set.
Yeah.
For our YouTube live set and our Patreon. I think we deserve, or just someone buy us the NXT title. Fuck it. But I have a John Cena spinner signed by Jericho and Dolph Ziggler for whatever fucking reason.
I want the undisputed title signed by Mansoor.
I really want
If anyone's got one, we'll trade you.
I really want the NXT world title for our set. So I'm willing to sell
Let's
or trade.
get a set. Women's, North American.
Should me and you just get tag titles? North American and world champion.
I like the North American title. It's nice.
All right. I'll be world champion.
Maybe the UK one.
You be my Roddy.
Yeah.
You're the workhorse. And I'm Adam Cole. I just say boys and girls, and I hang out with dentists. That's what I'll do.
Sure.
Right?
Sounds good.
Excellent. So Walter Finn is going to happen at Tampa, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think that'll be
a great match.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walter's a special attraction to me, and I like it.
He is, yeah, for sure.
You want to talk about special attractions? Moments ago, in the Performance Center parking lot, I told you. What did I say in the beginning of this fucking show? I said it's dangerous. I said Florida parking lots are scary. Well, Mia Yim is being interviewed, but the interview is kind of on halt because they turn the camera and we see Raul Mendoza putting his gear into his trunk. He's going home. Didn't stay for the end of the show, which I'm like, dude, show's not over yet.
Yeah.
I know for a fact this is scripted because Raul Mendoza is not that kind of guy.
No, he'd sit in Gorilla to watch the show.
He'd watch the whole show. Yeah. Just say. But anyways, it's storytelling. Raul Mendoza is putting his gear in his trunk. He's going home. A fucking Jeep or Hummer or some fucking car pulls up, and dudes in suits and lucha masks jump out of the car. They grab Raul Mendoza. They look at the camera and the interviewer and Mia Yim, and they go shh, and they kidnap Raul Mendoza, put him in the back of their car, and drive off from the WWE Performance Center parking lot. This is a real segment that happened on real TV.
You know what needs to happen?
What needs to happen?
End of the year, when we present Raul Mendoza with his 3-time Enhancement Talent of the Year, we've got a fancy camera now.
Yeah.
We need to edit this video and then get Raul Mendoza in person, him loaded in a van. We pull our masks off and present him with the award.
That was what this was. Yeah.
Are you assuming this is Angel Garza and Andrade?
Andrade, NXT legend. Angel Garza, NXT legend. We can call him that, sure.
Yeah.
Leave the memories alone. Pour a little out for them. And they're kidnapping Raul Mendoza. Are you joking? Or is Cain Velasquez involved?
Yeah, so that's what John Cena suggested. He
Okay.
messaged us earlier. He was like, do you see... Because we've been talking about a possible 4-way for Mania between Humberto, Rey Mysterio, Raul Mendoza... Angel Garza and Andrade.
It's gotta be Cain.
I mean, Raul Mendoza's a weird guy to have on the heel team.
Yeah.
Unless it's maybe some kind of...
Well, dude's getting kidnapped on
He's
TV.
being kidnapped. Maybe we'll have some sort of recruitment angle. Like Ray and Humberto trying to get him on board. But this could be a way to get Cain on and have a 6-man tag.
Cain's in the background.
Or maybe...
Wait, so is Cain behind the kidnapping of this? No.
No. I think Cain... If you're going to have Raul with Angel Garza and Andrade, you'll have Rey Mysterio and Humberto looking for that extra man, and maybe Cain Velasquez, that is.
Jeez.
Not the demon.
Yeah. It's gotta be Cain.
Maybe he evens it up. Or maybe we're just going towards a 5-way. I don't know.
He's look, Cain Velasquez is like, look, Raul Mendoza, I have a very good set of skills. And you see, if you let Raul Mendoza go? Sorry, I'm fucking up.
Where
Taken.
are you going?
I was going with Taken, but I completely
Why?
fucked it up. Because he was taken. He was kidnapped.
Okay, yeah, true.
He was totally. I felt like Liam Neeson was coming out of nowhere to save the day.
I mean, realistically,
I have a good set of skills.
did Raul Mendoza have any friends? Because no one gave a shit.
He also really didn't put up a fight.
He's like, oh no.
Oh, I'm being kidnapped.
But yeah, good for him. I think one of the highlights of Raw the last few weeks has been this kind of quartet of guys, and Raul Mendoza will fit in great to that mix.
Look, if you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a long career. Skills that made me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my Raul Mendoza go, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. That's what Liam Neeson's
Okay
in this situation. Poor Raul Mendoza. I'm worried about him. He was kidnapped on live TV on USA Network, and no one give a shit.
Or is this anything to do with Raw, and is this just to
new
people on NXT?
It could be. They're like, look, you're really good. You're number one enhancement talent for the past 2 years on NXT. You could be an asset to us. Be a whole new team.
How about we enhance you now?
Yeah. You couldn't beat Kushida. You keep losing because you're an enhancement. You're not the main guy. We can make you the guy. Let us be with you. Lucha House Party 2.0. Those guys were impressive in that chamber match.
They were.
Holy.
Oh, that was they were like, hey, this is our time to shine.
Yeah. That shooting star and then that fucking... so many crazy things.
I enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought it was a pretty solid show.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with Raul Mendoza if he was indeed taken. I hope he's okay. We have Tegan Knox going up against Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa. And the winner is added to the ladder match at TakeOver Tampa. So like you said, Dakota Kai is already not in this match, so you assume maybe that would continue. Not the case. This I kind of found was more of a squash match of the night where Deonna Purrazzo early in the match hits a series of moves. There's an exploder in the corner, and she keeps attacking like the injured arm of Tegan because she uses the Fujiwara. Well, that's exactly what she does after attacking the arm of Tegan Knox. Locks in the Fujiwara armbar. Tegan is in pain. You think she's going to tap. She does not. She gets out of it. They scuffle. They brawl. Tegan runs at her with the shiniest wizard. And Tegan Knox pins the Virtuoso. And if you weren't sure, the Virtuoso means a woman with executable talent and skill that dazzles. So therefore, the Virtuosa is a dazzler. But Deonna Purrazzo, the dazzler, loses from the wizard. The dazzler loses to the wizard here on NXT. And Tegan Knox is added to the TakeOver Tampa ladder match.
Yeah, which now pretty much makes me think that they're going to have another match with all the losers for Dakota to get in this.
Makes it sound so like...
Or Dakota just takes out Mia Yim.
Wow. Fuck. Wow, I would love that.
Mia Yim's just the punching bag of the NXT Women's Division.
Absolutely love that. I don't want anything else other than that right now. And if that doesn't happen, then fuck it. No, upset.
Dakota Kai just gets someone to cough on her and then she's out.
Jeez! No, terrible. Dakota.
Bad joke. I'm sorry, guys.
Dakota Corona.
The ultimate heel.
The ultimate heel. If I don't... Yeah, why is no one cutting promos about this? Like, if you're talking about real promos, someone should be like, yo, I'm not flying in these airports with these people.
Moxley in... Like, the Dean Ambrose thing was just... Like
a year ago.
A year too soon, wasn't it, really?
Would have been amazing.
If he came out now to arenas in the gas mask.
If I don't see someone on Raw make a joke about it or something, like... I mean, they've done wash these hands, so that's I guess that's it.
No, I don't think you're going to have... Even trash like WWE, I don't think are going to go there.
We do, though.
We do.
We see the Broserweights, they're backstage. They're ready for their main event title match coming up next. There's another one of these scary vignette videos with words and letters and a woman talking, and it looks like it is, in fact, Killer Cross. So hopefully he debuts at TakeOver Tampa is what it looks like it will be.
Will they call him Killer Cross?
I don't know.
Or will he just be cross?
Killer Cross.
Will he just be angry?
Cross.
Carl Cross.
Carl Cross. No, that's terrible. Carl Crane. Killer Cross, not killer, but like killer.
Keenan Cross.
Keenan? Like Keenan Thompson?
Sure.
No. I made you watch that sushi, airport sushi sketch from SNL, right?
Oh
my God. Magical is that sketch. So Killer Cross hopefully showing up at TakeOver Tampa, not Keenan Thompson. Killer Cross. Imagine it was Keenan Thompson who shows up at TakeOver Tampa and he's like, I'm wrestling now. That'd be great. Good burger for life. Our main event, Shock the System, Undisputed Era, come down to the ring. They're going to go up against the Broserweights. But before that happens, the Velveteen Dream is up on the NXT. What is it?
Perch.
The Perch.
The Perch.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Perch. The NXT Perch. The Velveteen Dream is up there. He says, "Oh, Undisputed Era. Roderick Strong is dumber than he looks. And you guys are looking at the Dream. You see, you're looking at the main event of TakeOver Tampa." And Adam Cole interrupts him and says, Whoa. Velveteen Dream, you haven't earned anything. You've earned nothing. You see, even last week, Roderick Strong technically won the match. You lost. And you're looking at the greatest NXT champion ever. And next week on USA, on NXT, there's going to be the Adam Cole NXT Championship celebration because I will officially become the longest reigning champion. So next week is the celebration. And as far as tonight, Velveteen Dream, we're going to end this charade. So he's like snapping his fingers like, boys, Roddy, Fish, Kyle, let's go beat this. Let's take care of this fucking loser. And Velveteen Dream's like, whoa. I don't think so. Looks like you've got other things on your mind. And then Dream snaps his fingers and the Broserweights music hits. Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle come out. And this tag team title match is going to start here tonight. So no Perch fight.
No Perch fight.
They teased it. They teased a Perch fight. Just noticed that. Just remember that.
Where are you at now with this Velveteen Dream character?
Well, it makes way more sense that he really wasn't, because he was being an asshole for that Roddy thing, and it really turned me off. So now he's gonna go for Adam Cole, and it's like, well, okay.
Does he deserve a title shot?
I don't know if like deserve is what, but like I like the Velveteen Dream. I think he's great. He's been injured for a little while. He was on a very big hot streak, like what, a year ago?
Yep.
So I do like him. I think him and Adam Cole will actually have a banger.
Oh,
match.
I think so too.
But it is a little bit like
I know we're not like wins and losses here, but NXT's always had that kind of unofficial number one contender matches. You can kind of see who's moving up to that position, I find usually.
Right.
And we had the match Finn Balor Gargano. Yeah. Which I think a lot of people thought Finn Balor winning that would move into that position.
Exactly.
Dream hasn't really. I guess he's been winning against Roddy.
Well, he lost last week.
He did lose. Yeah. No, you're right. He did lose last week. I feel Adam Cole could quite justifiably go, hey, you've done shit to deserve this. Unlike Regal is pretty kind of down the middle a lot of the time.
Regal shows up at the end of the show for a different reason, but Regal needs to step it up. Because Regal's
realistically, you'd go, Dream, you've been a bit of a dick since you've been back, and you're not the one who calls the shots. I am. Yeah. And we've seen Regal be like that with baby faces before as well. It's like, listen here, Sonny.
You ain't no oil painting. Which we've been talking about a lot of William Regal on What's Next.
Oh, he's the star of What's Next.
He really is. He really is.
I like Dream. I'm like you. I like Dream. I was totally into him before he got injured. Mm-hmm. I think this Roddy story has done damage to him. Yeah. A bit. And I'm with you.
Cole said what we all thought. Just because I didn't mention it, but he's like, just because you locked me in a cage. Wow, cool. Great.
For sure. Exactly. And that's where I am. It's like, yeah, okay, just because you're targeting me doesn't give you the right to challenge me.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to have to see Dream kind of fight for his right to party. You know what I mean? Dream looks like... Dream gives me Eddie Murphy vibes. He looks like he likes to party all the time.
Oh, I mean, in New Orleans, he definitely did.
Shh, Patreon level exclusive.
I don't know, the NXT guys just liked hanging out where I was partying.
It's funny. Wait, do they? Never mind.
Nope.
Main event time. Undisputed Era. Broserweights. Now, This match starts off. Matt Riddle is in. Kyle O'Reilly's in. Pete Dunne's in. They're tagging in and out. Now, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, both in stereo, hit gut-wrench suplexes on both members of an Undisputed Era. They go to commercial. They come back. Kyle and Riddle, they're brawling it out, and Kyle sends Riddle to the outside, and Fish and Kyle start to beat him up. There's an armbar from Pete Dunne on Kyle. Cole goes into the ring to try to interfere when the ref isn't looking, and Pete Dunne does his best. Eddie Guerrero drops down. The referee looks and sees Adam Cole, and Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne tell the referee that Adam Cole got involved and that he should be kicked out of the arena. And that's what happens. The referee does the classic, "You are
out of here."
And Adam Cole is kicked out. Eddie Guerrero references in my wrestling. That's what I like. Love Eddie.
I always love how, even though they're like a matter of feet away from each other, they've got a gesture. The ref is like doing, gesturing around his waist, like, "No, this is for the belt." Yeah. Like, you have to go out of here. I'm like, dude, I'm right next to you. I can hear you.
Excuse me, Adam, you need to leave right now. But that's not wrestling. That's not what we watch. In wrestling, it is, you are out of here.
Just get out of here.
Get out of here. So Adam Cole is ejected from this match. Now the tag team is evened up because Roddy was chasing Dream earlier on. There's a fisherman buster. There's like sweeping the leg from Kyle O'Reilly to Pete Dunne. Riddle finally makes a hot tag at one point. There's double knees. There's exploder suplexes, fisherman suplexes. There's German suplex counter. Pete Dunne then like powerbomb Kyle into like this mat. There's like a tiger driver type moves. There's a mention that the ankles were over the armpits from this powerbomb. Like, think about how you sit down powerbomb. He like gets like height over it.
The tiger driver, it was snug and like low, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked crazy. Pete Dunne does his classic stomps like Daniel Bryan. There's the lunatic lariat from Kyle, who fights back to Pete. Riddle is in. There's the flash knees. There's German suplexes. There's wrist control. There's more German suplexes. There's a knee to Dunne where it just sends him flying into the crowd from Kyle O'Reilly. And then Red Dragon, or Undisputed Era, hit Chasing the Dragon. But they don't call it that.
No, they called it the Collapse.
The Collapse, which is Chasing the Dragon, the brainbuster roundhouse kick to like the back.
And they've called it Chasing the Dragon for time in NXT.
You could easily just call it Chasing, or the Chase, or the Dragon. Like, literally just call it the Chase.
I'm pretty sure they've called it this.
They've literally called it
NXT, like its proper name.
I can be straight real. I was very shocked that they actually called it Chasing the Dragon at one point, because if you kind of know what it means. But
for sure.
Realistically, it doesn't mean that
I
bad.
don't find it too offensive.
No,
it means chasing the high. Like,
come on, it's not that bad.
No.
And they were Red Dragon. I would like to still call it. I'm from now on. If they call it the Collapse, cool. But I'm calling it Chasing the Dragon.
The only way I might think that maybe this isn't its real name is Nigel said it, whereas I feel it's normally Moro who kind of hits the names over the head, whereas Nigel, I believe, called this the Collapse. So we'll see next time what they call it.
Looks cool, but get this. Matt Riddle kicks out of it. Only a 2 count. They've won many matches with it, but it's not over yet. Riddle beats up both of them, hits a double spear. This is when the crowd here in the PC is chanting, "Riddle, Riddle." But out comes the grizzled young veterans. They get involved here. There's a double throat chop from Gibson to Riddle. Kyle gets a roll-up, only a 2 count. The grizzled young vets get taken out from like a back body drop from Riddle to Fish onto the vets. Then the bro to sleep kind of double team combo kick to the head to Kyle O'Reilly, and the Broserweights retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. But wow, that finish where they just killed Kyle. They killed Kyle. With that finish there. He looked like he just died. Wow, just crazy. This was a lot of fun as well. But in all honesty, you mentioned probably already a few times going through the motions, and this is exactly what I thought would happen. Like, realistically, like cookie cutter planning of a wow, we need to book a pay-per-view match in a few weeks, and there's going to be a few tag team involved. What should we do with this match? I'm kind of disappointed in this match. I thought this would kind of go the next level, and it still didn't do that for me.
We've already seen it.
We're negative Nancy's today.
Yeah, I think so. It was like it's very much what we thought. Like, Kyle gets his like hot streak where he's hitting his axe kicks. Riddle gets his hot streak where he hits the spear and the like the Brotons
Yeah.
and all that. We've seen it all a lot. They're not switching it up enough, and I think this is okay. This wasn't meant to be a show stealer because this is meant to build for.
Why not? This should have been. Look at this match: Undisputed Era
You're right.
versus Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. This should be crazy.
Yeah,
It just didn't get to that next level for me, but.
Yeah, I think
it was fun to watch. Don't get me wrong, but
it's
it just
fun. Like there's
as
nothing,
it was ramping
and
up.
I feel
it didn't.
like I showed a friend of mine who doesn't follow wrestling, and we went for drinks the other day. We wanted to keep going, so it was like, come back. I've got fucking alcohol in the fridge.
Gargano versus Almas and Chill.
So I showed him Shingo versus Ospreay.
Right.
Because he was like, there's Japanese wrestling. I was
that's
yeah.
like one of the best matches ever.
But seconds into it, where they're literally just feeling each other out, and none of the crazy shit's happening. He's going, whoa, this is crazy. This is really cool. And I go, oh nothing's happened yet. Nothing's
so he lost his mind.
So I think show him something like this, and he go, oh wow, that's great. But we watch fantastic wrestling all the time. God, that tag match the other week at AEW, the best match of the year so far, I think.
That's contender for match of the year for me.
For sure.
That tag match with Hangman, yeah.
And these guys, it's just going through the motions. It's Raw and SmackDown have their formula of beat down, headlock, commercial break. NXT has a more exciting formula, but it is formulaic. It's become very formulaic. Their main events at takeovers are starting to become formulaic, with just going for the epic and then bit of shenanigans. I'm not seeing it be switched up enough, and the guys are more than talented to do it.
Right, I agree. Yeah, all four of these guys are amazing.
Yeah,
but this didn't feel like a takeover match. This just felt like a TV match that just was like on this show. Some people listen to us just because they don't watch it, and they're like, yeah, if they tell me to watch something that was amazing, I'll go watch it. I wouldn't say go watch this because you didn't really miss anything. And that's not knocking the talent, because all four of these guys are talented. I'm just saying this really is like, we know what the match is. We know what's coming, and it's just like, can we just get there already? And they have this problem here.
That's how I felt with the whole booking, to be honest. Grizzled Young Vets come out, and we predicted a while ago that this would be the thing to make it a bit more interesting, to add a new wrinkle to it.
So Tampa Takeover is a three-way tag.
Three-way, which hopefully should be an incredible match. All three teams are great. But again, it's how are we booking it up? Oh, just run out there. Run out there and interfere.
Yeah. They could have been more interference. They could have cost Era the titles. Era could have won the titles again, because who cares? They could have won it. And then they go, wow, look, we fucking told you we're the best. And then you go, you know what? At TakeOver Tampa, it's a three-way tag match for all three. And then Broserweights win it back. Like, it just would have spiced things up. It would have got some interest, because there's no electricity coming from this. There's no sparks from this. Like, this is just kind of cold to me. So this wasn't the main event, and obviously they knew that this was kind of maybe not super hot, that they put this not last on the show. Because I mentioned it at the main event because it was the main event match, but there's still a segment left here on NXT. Yeah, I love all four of those guys, and I think the TakeOver Tag Team title match will be crazy.
Yeah.
But that's a TakeOver, and this is now. So, yeah, a little letdown. Adam Cole celebration next week, just a reminder, is what they tell us. And also, the women's ladder match will have another person added. Candice LeRae or Mercedes Martinez.
I'm looking forward to see that.
Because they're fighting next week. That'll be a crazy match.
I think both...
both should be in the match.
Candice LeRae is... steps up to it and impresses. She hasn't had that many opportunities.
Candice LeRae is amazing.
She's fantastic. Mercedes Martinez, also fantastic, and has had zero opportunities so far. I mean, she's just joined. She's impressive.
I want this. Candice LeRae advances to the match, and then the storylines leading in give Candice some airtime, where Candice LeRae is like, "Yo, look at my competition in this match. Like, I'm Candice LeRae. I'm Mrs. NXT. I'm gonna steal the show." And then right near the takeover, if it happens, Io Shirai is announced into the match, and then it's just like, ooh, that's still that long-lasting kind of thing. Yeah. Even if they're both faces, heels, whatever, it's a little bit of an extra excitement, I feel, if, injury depending. Yeah. If fucking this pay-per-view even happens.
Yeah. I hope they give these two a good amount of time next week because I think they could have a really good match.
Yeah, I think so too. Mercedes Martinez versus Candice LeRae next week on NXT. But Tommaso Ciampa comes down to the ring. He's pissed off. He goes in the ring. No one will survive. He says, Johnny, I don't know where you are, but you gave me a promise. You gave the NXT universe a promise that this week we would find out why you attacked me. So tell me why. Your time's about up. And Johnny Gargano appears on the screen. He's somewhere in like some office. Clearly the PC somewhere else in the building. He says, look, we're going to do things your way. No. It's Johnny time. Everyone was wrong about you, Ciampa. Everyone forgets the past 3 years like they don't exist. Don't you remember what you did to me? What you did to NXT? Ciampa, you're the worst person in NXT history. You see, you go away for 6 months injured, and everyone just loves you when you come back. Everyone chants, Daddy's home. All of a sudden, everyone's supposed to cheer you. Did I miss an apology? Why are you all of a sudden redeemed? But as he's like talking,
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all.
Completely right. Completely right in the right here.
Wait, was there a promo when he came back?
He's
and was
like, hey, I'm back.
I've been off for a long time, and I've been thinking about my actions. Johnny, Candice, I'm sorry. I was a dick. And it wasn't until I almost had this taken away from me where I realized how bad it was for me to try and take it away from you. You were my brother, and I betrayed you, and I let you down, Johnny. I'm sorry. Look at me in the eyes. I'm sorry. Was there that? No. He comes back and just wants his fucking gold belt back.
He's like, Johnny, remember when you won the title and I came out and hugged you with your wife? Remember that? Yeah, cool. That was my apology.
Yeah, soz.
Well, that's not what he says. But as Johnny's all saying this, Ciampa left the ring, going through the PC, like hunting him down. Well, he finds him. Johnny and Ciampa start to brawl. They start fighting through the Performance Center. They're fighting in a boardroom. Ciampa takes a laptop, smacks Johnny with it. They're running through rooms. Johnny throws like this pencil container at him. That would hurt. Getting pens and pencils thrown at you. What if those were sharpened pencils? That would hurt. You could get lead poisoning. It would hurt. They keep brawling. They're fighting through. There's crutches. There's a random guy tries to stop Ciampa and he just gets punched in the face.
There's in the hallways in the PC, there's the big posters of previous WrestleManias and stuff all framed.
Yeah.
And is it Ciampa picks it up and just wallops Johnny with it? It looks painful.
Like the frame of it would hurt. Yeah. Not just the poster, but the frame. They're yelling, they're like shit talking each other, like there's no more DIY, you fucked it all up. Essentially, they're then like in like the workout area, like the gym part of the Performance Center, and Ciampa gets thrown into like a training machine here. And we've been talking about the coronavirus here, and everyone should stay sanitary. Well, that's what Johnny Gargano was trying to do here, as he grabs the disinfectant spray for the workout machines. Yeah. When you're done working out, you use these sprays and towel it down. He grabs the spray and sprays.
I'm surprised you know that.
Hey,
I'm joking.
He's got the mean. Yeah. You don't think I work out? You don't think I work out? It takes a lot to look like this. Not a lot, but like a little bit. Well, he disinfects Ciampa, so Ciampa is now good for the next 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So he should wash his hands again. He gets sprayed in the eyes. Johnny then starts to beat him up. He then takes Ciampa and throws Ciampa through a glass door. It shatters. It goes everywhere. They're fighting through the gym. It reminds me of Here Comes the Pain.
Yeah, this will be a level. The PC, like the office, and then you go into this was cool.
They're essentially in an episode of The Office, just fighting in the gym, in the offices here. They're fighting through here. Johnny goes to like lift like one of these like weights to hit Ciampa with, but Ciampa's like no, and then he takes it and hits Johnny in the gut with it. They're fighting back and forth. Ciampa throws a weight at Johnny, but he moves out of the way and it shatters a mirror here in the Performance Center. They then keep fighting and they get back to ringside where they're fighting. There's a flying knee into a chair into Johnny's face. Ciampa's like, this is my house. Gargano goes up to the perch.
They're on the perch.
Oh boy! Now I mentioned the perch earlier. Well, they're back on it. They're fighting up on the perch. Now below the perch is so perfectly placed the NXT commentary table, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Davie, but is it not always there? Is it not somewhere else usually?
No, it's usually there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's usually below the perch, but they all fucked off, didn't they?
They were like, yo, I'm out.
Yeah.
They dip off. Johnny Gargano on the perch removes the metal guardrail. Somehow it's loose, which is very... Someone should be fired for this. You're telling me at a university in Florida where they film a professional wrestling TV show live every week at 8 o'clock on USA Network, that they have on their TV set a thing that's elevated very kind of high above the crowd that has a dysfunctional guardrail that people lean on.
You have to lift it up to take it out.
He easily disconfigured this thing. He was like, and I'm going to take that off.
But who's going up there apart from Regal to yell War Games?
Which we were all waiting for to happen here. Gargano removes the guardrail. They fight on it, and they continue to fight. Gargano locks in the Gargano escape at one point. Ciampa gets out of it. Gargano's like talking shit. He says, look, everyone, look at this teachable moment. And I quote, is what he said. But Ciampa gets up, puts Johnny up on his shoulders in a fireman carry position, looks down below at this table below the perch, quite below, jumps off with Johnny on the shoulders with the air raid crash through the announce table. Both guys are laid out. It's chaos. It's a pandemic. It's insanity. Cats and dogs living together. The referees come down. They're all checking on both guys. Johnny is dead. Ciampa's selling like he hurt himself. William Regal comes out. We expect him to say War Games, or at least Hell in a Cell. But he does not do that.
No.
But it goes off the air with these two kind of in a squabble laying down here.
What did you think of NXT? What did you think of this brawl?
Yeah, I liked the brawl. It was cool. It was interesting to see something kind of different where they're fighting through the Performance Center. Like the different the different scenery is cool to see.
Scenery we haven't seen in WWE.
Yeah, like I mentioned, Here Comes the Pain, but like that was the fun about playing the games where you can travel to different things and fight through different things. So that's what it kind of reminded me of. So it was kind of refreshing, and that's kind of what this feud needed, because everyone knows why Johnny did what he did. Realistically, like you know why if you've been watching this show. If this is a soap opera, you kind of support Johnny in a weird way. Like, if you watch Coronation Street, if you watch some soap...
Well, this is, somewhat... Like, imagine, like, you're married to someone, they cheat on you with someone else.
Right.
You go away heartbroken, and then they become happy and in a relationship, and then become a bit of a babyface couple.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you're still mad, and you're like, no, I still fucking hate you.
Yeah, you're still terrible.
But you're the jerk who's coming back to break up this relationship. It's kind of that.
You sound like you're talking from personal experience.
Then they block you on everything.
Wow.
No.
That's when you create fake accounts, bro.
So, I enjoyed bits of this. I thought the same thing I always feel about WWE brawls. Went on way too long.
Yeah.
Also with it not being in an arena, but being in a small venue, the crowd are quiet. So you're hearing just the refs going, come on, Johnny. Oh, come on, stop doing that. Stop it. Come on now.
Laughing.
Come on, put that down. Or there's a guy just audibly laughing on the mic.
Ridiculous.
Did you mention Drake Younger getting like thrown? That was cool. But yeah, I felt it would die. It was kind of dying a bit, and then you had the spot with Ciampa going through the window. And I was like, that's cool. It should end there.
Yeah.
And then it continued for a while.
I agree.
And then went to the perch, and you're okay, we're on the perch. This is cool. I felt the announcement should have happened. Whatever the stipulation is, we're guessing Hell in a Cell. I imagine it's some sort of stipulation, but I feel Regal should have just ended the show. We know it's coming. I feel a promo segment wouldn't have quite the reaction as if he just came out tonight and was like, you guys want to fight all over the place? Well, we're going to contain you and blah, and shout it out. Hell in a Cell. I didn't.
Yeah.
It felt it needed just that climax at the end.
Well, so now the gimmick is they brawl, they fight, they hate each other even more. They've killed each other, so they can't be contained. And William Regal came out and he's like, "Oh, two of my biggest stars are fucking each other up." So next week, I imagine, or at least before next week, maybe even online, that it is some sort of gimmick match, whether it be Hell in a Cell, 3 Stages of Hell, whatever it be. I think Hell in a Cell makes more sense. We've never seen that in NXT, and these two have done so many matches already, so it's like
we've seen them brawl all over the place.
Yeah.
We've seen those matches. I think the Cell match is what it has to be.
I agree.
And this feels like old school, where it's the only thing that will end this feud.
Yeah, I agree. It's the main thing. That's how I hate that the gimmick pay-per-views tell you when it's going to be, because now it's just like, no, we should announce.
But also, it's been long enough since the last Hell in a Cell and
Yeah.
enough time away from the next one.
I agree.
Where it feels kind of fresh.
Yeah, I agree.
But I just wanted it to be announced tonight.
So William Regal did not announce it, but he's out there, and we think that
He's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it. War Games? I can't do War Games. We already did it. And
Blood
AEW
and guts.
Blood
man.
and guts? Oh, we can't do that either. Hell in a Cell? Yeah, maybe. So that was NXT. For me, I would say, like, I still enjoyed tonight's episode, but we didn't really get anything out of it. We still don't know anything that we didn't know. Like, realistically,
No.
a few people are added to a match, but that's the only match that's, like, kind of solidified. So we're still in this, like, weird, like, limbo position. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed this week, but again, we do our AEW reviews on Thursdays for our Patreon, and, like, the past few weeks, AEW has had a way better show, and I can't wait to go watch AEW.
And it's our job to be like objective and criticize and point out what we had such a streak of just praising this show week after week after week, and maybe a couple of years ago, Christ, we're watching 2012 NXT. If you were presented with an episode like this, then your mind would be blown.
Right.
But the standard just keeps getting better and better and better and keeps evolving. And I don't think it's evolved since a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel they need to figure it out still. Still a solid show. Still the best show WWE produces every week. By far.
Yeah.
Just it's that gut feeling. It's not clicking with me.
I agree. I don't think you're far off, and I think a lot of people agree as well. But still, this week was like just kind of there, but it had some fun moments, but nothing that really like is super memorable to me this week. But
I'm gonna read out some news now. That's just come out, which most of you probably know by now. But I mentioned earlier in the show there was a rumor that SmackDown could be cancelled.
Yes.
SmackDown has been cancelled this Friday in Detroit and will broadcast from the PC.
Wow.
I think it'll be kind of interesting watching how these guys do in a Roman Reigns in this kind of environment.
They're gonna boo
the
him.
Fiend, John Cena in this kind of environment could be kind of cool. I mean, a shame why it's happening, but it'll be cool to see a completely different setting for these guys.
Is this gonna happen week by week? Is it gonna happen to Raw?
I mean, Detroit I know is affected. It's one of the areas affected, so I think they'll take it case by case.
Right.
But they're lucky they have something like a PC that they can use for stuff like this.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. So that's what we thought about NXT. I know we posted up feedback as we do every Wednesday, forum.postwrestling.com. It looks like we didn't get that much feedback this week. That means a lot of people aren't watching wrestling because they're busy washing their hands.
They're busy out and about.
Right. So let's quickly read what we got here. I'm going to start first because it looks like there's only 2 or 3. Paul from New Jersey. Dakota Kai always gets me high, but I am actually glad Yim got the victory here. Mia Yim gets me...
Come back to me.
He continues, Mia Yim needed it more, and I'm excited to see her in another ladder match. Flair and Ripley has been an abysmal feud, but tonight was a step in the right direction. Theory and Breeze had a fun exchange, but AEW is just too good this week, and it's commanding my viewing. You're still a superior brand. Never forget that. All I have left to say is Kona Reeves was trained by Alpha and the original Rock Don Morocco, and edit air raid spot was great.
It was great, to be fair.
And to be fair, Paul, Kona Reeves is great. Yeah, the finest,
He's
really.
the finest.
But he was not on the show tonight. So Mia Yim getting the spot. Yeah, I agree. I like
Yim gets the win.
Mia Yim gets the win. There you go. I like it. It's simple. It's easy. It's not offensive. Everyone wins. John's not mad. It's just great. read the next one.
We go to mystery. Hiya. I say hiya all the time, and people think I go, how are ya? Because I always go,
hey,
hiya.
how are ya?
And they go, yeah, good, thanks, you. And I go, what?
You what?
Hiya. Brawl between Gargano and Ciampa was great, but everything else was just decent at best. The women's ladder match is shaping up to be filled with women that are the pinnacle of who cares. Chelsea Green, Mia Yim, Tegan Nox. That is an incredibly weak field so far. Candice versus Mercedes next week as well, so it's not going to improve too much from an optics perspective. This Rhea-Charlotte feud is terrible, and the sooner Rhea loses that title after WrestleMania, the better. She has completely crashed and burned as champion. People clearly preferred Bianca, but I think Io will probably win the title from Rhea sometime after WrestleMania. AEW has been better overall, but their women's division is still incredibly weak, and they don't take it seriously at all, which is a big reason why I still prefer NXT over AEW at the end of the day. Question of the week. Did you guys hear the Kabuki Warriors promo from Raw this past week? It was pretty polarizing. John and Wade seemed to love it, but I know a couple of reviews I listened to hated it.
I'm a big fan of the... look, it's called World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yes.
I like to see other people of all nationalities, and I love to hear different languages. Definitely including when Asuka loses her goddamn mind yelling in Japanese. I absolutely love it. She is actually kind of scary. Like, realistically, especially at the chamber where she's like, and promoting.
She held those time gaps, like in between people coming out their pods. She was one of the stars there.
So I did see some of Raw, as I said, and we have our Kyrie cutout. We need to get her a face mask. We love Kyrie and we love Asuka here, both from the NXT history here, but. I did like that.
Yeah. I really liked it, to be honest. I think we've seen when like Japanese stars in particular have tried to cut promos in English, and suddenly they lose that sparkle. Mm-hmm. And this was them just full out going for it. They were like, Asuka's always been a bit crazy and animated and stuff, right, since NXT days. I loved it. I think it worked. And it's different. And that's what wrestling needs. It needs different stuff. We don't want that.
I love when Asuka loses.
That's what I don't like about these Charlotte Flair promos. It
It's
comes
boring.
out and it's, I am the queen of wrestling.
Yeah, wouldn't you
and
rather?
you are just a little mouse. And I am the queen. Woo! It's fucking boring.
Wouldn't you rather see this girl like coming out with colored hair?
Give me two people come out, scream, laugh, howl. I still know exactly what they're saying. They're saying they're the fucking world tag team champions, and then they're gonna beat everyone. And Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, come get it, because I'm gonna beat you the fuck up. I know they're saying that. I don't speak Japanese. I didn't understand any of the English they said, but I know that's what they said. I loved
agree.
it.
No, I'm a big fan of that, and especially, I think wrestling has kind of moved on from like being like, oh, we see a foreigner, boo that person. They're speaking a different language, we hate that. Like, we've moved on as people and as wrestling fans. Like, now that Asuka is still the heel, so obviously, like, it makes sense. Like, cool, but I really do like it. I am a big fan of it.
Take as well these Killer Cross vignettes and all those kind of things. Within seconds on Twitter, people have decoded what these messages mean and go, oh, if you look carefully, there's a K, an R, an O, and an S. The dream ones, like, look, it's the circles are his... People right away on Twitter have done that. There's no reason why someone can't come out, cut a promo in their own language, make you work for it. Mm-hmm. Find it on Twitter. Sure. Seconds later, someone will have translated it and be, oh my God, do you know what Asuka said this week? She actually said this. And you go, oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've all got phones. We've all got laptop. Like, Let
me tell you, Google Translate literally saved my life.
Sure.
Google Translate has literally saved my life. Just saying.
Yeah.
You can get around it. It's 2020.
And I think they're doing way better now than when they did have a mouthpiece with Paige. And I like Paige. I think she's a good talker, but I just don't think that worked.
Yeah, Paige is like good, but why were you with them? It makes way more sense. Kabuki Warriors, that pink shirt they got too.
Oh, I want it.
Should we buy it?
Well, it depends if I'm actually going or not. I'd wear that all the time in Tampa.
We do have one more piece of feedback before we end the show. WrestlingGram says, Shirai gets you high, but Raquel makes me swell. Angel emoji. Yes, Raquel makes me swell too.
Okay, you read that out.
Angel emoji?
No, you read the whole... Okay, I wasn't expecting you to read
Raquel
that.
makes me swell?
Yes.
Raquel makes me swell. Is that bad? Swell, not big swole.
Think about it.
I think he means like he feels nice and good about himself when he
A
sees
swell of emotions and just...
swell of emotions.
Sure.
That's what I thought he
Okay.
meant. Yeah, you took it the different direction, which is very odd considering usually I'm the one who takes things in the opposite direction. But I was thinking like, yeah, there's an angel emoji, meaning like swell, like good feeling.
Okay,
nice.
good. Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, Dakota Kai makes me spry. At one point.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So that was feedback. That's what you thought of NXT. That's what we thought of NXT. We talk about NXT every Wednesday night, but wherever you're listening to this, whenever you're listening to this, wherever you are listening to this, thank you for listening. Again, you can find us on our Patreon because this month is WrestleMania season and it's wild. We got our best match ever, WrestleMania curtain jerkers. We're watching all the WrestleMania opening matches and debating which one's the best. What's the best curtain jerker of WrestleMania? And then in a few weeks, we're doing best match ever, WrestleMania main events, show closers. What's the best WrestleMania main event of all time? Well, we're going to discuss it in a show, best match ever. So we got a few of those this month. We have a WrestleMania game, John Pollock, Wei Ting, Mike Murray, tomorrow night, available on our Patreon. Again, if you're thinking or like, oh, I want to try these guys. I like you guys a little bit. Now's the month. $5. You get to try all the back catalog, everything, and you get to listen to us. So it's been crazy because we have so many shows out. Holy shit.
And if you want a little taster, because we do stuff like movie reviews, like we're going to be doing a review of The Matrix next week as chosen by one of our world champs. But we are actually doing a free movie review this Friday on this very feed. You can listen to our review of The Force Awakens. We're finally there. We're at the final 3 Star Wars films, the newest trilogy. So you can listen to that on Friday.
Holy, we've been reviewing a bunch of movies. We did Parasite because we said we would review the Academy Award winner. That was awesome. We did Best Match Ever, Best of Edge, since his whole return and his angles with Randy Orton leading up to WrestleMania. So we watched all the best Edge matches and we reviewed and discussed. I mentioned the Bret Hart episode for Valentine's Day. That's all last month. So you join, you get access to all the other shows. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty crazy. So if this is the time to try and think like, it's $5 isn't that much. What do people say? It's a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's a cup of coffee. And you get all the shows that we like to do. And we've been having a blast doing these podcasts. So it's just been so awesome. We did an Up Yours where we watched Jason X.
Oh, yes.
We went from Parasite, Academy Award-winning movie, in the same week to watching Jason X, which I can tell you is not an Academy Award-winning movie.
It's not quite. Not quite.
Almost there. Maybe a Golden Globe
Almost there.
Yeah.
So we like to finish our shows by giving a little thank you to our patrons who, with their support, allow us to keep this show for free every week. So we've had some new people sign up recently and like to give them a shout out. Thank you to Paul Collins. Thank you for taking the jump and joining us. Thank you, Michael Begg. Thank you, Robin Brown. Thank you, Richard Hernandez and Kevin Vold. Thank you very much for being one of our patrons.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff Cook, for being a patron. Thank you, Mark the Butcher Butchers. Thank you, Robert Sheldon. Thank you, Ray the Dude. And thank you, Lee Patterson, for all being patrons on the upNXT Patreon. Patreon.com/upNXT. Again, $5 a month. You get all the podcasts we've been doing. We do What's Next, we review NXT. We just talked about Cassius Ohno and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's son, Richie Steamboat, and actually kind of was pretty good.
Best match in What's Next history so far.
So far, in 2012.
Little spoiler here, but it's
legit.
good. It's a good match.
It's pretty good. Seth Rollins is champion right now. Big E debuted the 5 count. Shit's going wild. We're talking about that every week or every other week on the Patreon as well. So many shows we're doing to keep this show free, and that's why we shout out all the patrons every week. So thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next week. We'll be back on our Patreon with the Thursday AEW reviews because I can't wait to watch AEW. This NXT show kind of left a little sour taste in my mouth, as it has the past few weeks. We're being negative Nancy's, I guess, but it's okay.
Some might say we're being overly negative, and I think we are to an extent, but it's because we want the best out of our NXT.
Yes, we do. We really do. We're here for a long time and a good time. Not just a good time.
Yes.
A long and good time. So thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting upNXT and following us. Again, find us wherever you find your podcast. Review, rate us, give us all the stars, all the nice reviews. Follow the upNXT podcast at upNXT podcast on Twitter. I myself, Braden Herrington. You can find me at the Brady on Twitter and Instagram.
You can find me at Davie Portman. And join us for our watch-alongs as well. We've been doing a few watch-alongs recently on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/upNXT.
Yeah, we did the AEW Revolution and the Super Showdown pay-per-view or whatever they called that show. And it's funny, we always joke and say we're your NXT friends. But we're really your like wrestling friends because it's so crazy. The internet lets you become friends via podcasting through things. It's wild. It's just crazy. So that's been a lot of fun as well. I see in our YouTube chat, John Cena is mentioning the FCW documentary that was on the WWE Network, which just kind of ties into us because we're NXT and we've been doing What's Next. We will talk about a little bit about it more on upNXT tomorrow on the Patreon. So thank you again for that cheap plug. We've been plugging it too much.
And also download the Hot Mic app where you can join us every Wednesday for this post show and for more watch-alongs down the line.
Yes. So thank you for joining us. We're going to get out of here. You can find us again next week with upNXT every Wednesday as we will get closer to TakeOver Tampa. We're going to get out of here. Thank you for listening. Take care. Goodbye. Fuck Harvey Weinstein. And I hope Tom Hanks recovers very, very soon. Holy shit. I guess it caught him if he can.
Wilson! Ahoy!
Wow.
No.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, guys. How are we doing in the room?
Hello, people on the YouTube and the hot mic and the everything in between. How y'all living?
How's it going in here?
Who's in the room still?
We got John Cena. We got Kendall.
Kendall
only just noticed recently the Undisputed Era.
Oh, that's been on since Adam Cole's been champion. I think you put that on Kyrie when he became champion because you were like, everyone's in the era now.
Everyone's in the era. Do you remember when Taynara was in the era for a week?
Yeah. Remember when she was in WWE?
Yeah.
Lit.
Okay. Hello, Hot Mic as well. We're going to bid you adieu. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for your support as always. Thank you for joining us in this room. It's a lot of fun chatting to you guys and watching the little feed go on as
it's awesome.
We're talking shit. So, good night, guys. We love you.
Goodbye. Thank you.